So what we're going to do here is we're going to use these codes to activate as much DNA as possible on you. So focus on the center of this code and just monitor your left hand. And just be as relaxed and unattached to the outcome as possible. You can start to see the middle of the code start pulsing, right? It's moving. Yeah, this code will start to speed up the particle pulsation rate inside your cells. So that's accurate, Steve. You are pulsing as well. And now you can feel the energy going quantum. Now look at what an indigo type 1 looks like. Just focus on the center of the code and just enjoy this activation. So as this code starts to become activated, you may begin to feel heat in your body, and you may just feel a lot softer, like you're melting. Just begin to cultivate unconditional self-love and gratitude and love for all of your brothers and sisters here in this webinar. Many of the people here are in your actual soul family, your real family, your functional family, not dysfunctional genetic family, functional soul family. So this one's really heavy. You can feel it moving from your fingertips into your palm right now. Again, drink some more water. And now we're ready to talk about Stargates. You know, Stargate is not a science fiction thing, you know, like the show Stargate SG-1. There's a lot of truth to that show. So Stargates are actually openings that exist between dimensions in our time matrix that permit passage between space-time locations in multiple universes. They're part of the energetic circulatory system of humans, our inner stargates, and planets. They're how a planet circulates energy with its sun, and how a sun circulates energy with its solar system. There are natural cycles when the stargates open called stellar activation cycles. And we're currently in the middle of a stellar activation cycle. It started year 2000 and will go until year 2017. The last stellar activation cycle was in 22,346 BC. So that's the last time the stargates opened up. Well, what happened that time is that there was an invasion by other races, and the guardian races had to close the stargates. So we could not ascend in the last stellar activation cycle. So we've been waiting another 25,000 years for this particular point in time where we can do it again. And we're not going to get into all the victimization behind this, but basically, you know, for those of you who've been incarnating, you probably have a vague memory of all of the abuse and, you know, things that have happened in the past. And you should be very determined this time to step up and fulfill your contract. So what is a stellar activation cycle? It's an infusion of multidimensional frequency into the Earth. And this infusion is composed of light, sound, and electromagnetic scalar waves that are beyond presently identified spectra and frequency bands. It directly alters the particle pulsation rate of Earth's third-dimensional particle base and the auric field of all species, because our auric field is part of the Earth's auric field. It also affects the metabolic and biological process of the body through the energetic field. You know, if I speed up the particles of your auric field, I'm speeding up your metabolism. The way that this manifests is spirals of energy coming from the different dimensions and the different planetary systems. So you have spirals of energy coming from dimension 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, and then Earth. So these are the planets here that it's coming from. So these are like activations coming into the Earth. And it makes sense that our field must be prepared to receive these activations, right? And also the Earth. If not, the energy just gets stuck. So what happens actually in the stellar activation cycle? It's a dissolving of the lower dimensional energy capsules within the auric field and transmuting their particle content into the next harmonic universe. So you dissolve 1, 2, and 3, the energy capsules there, dimensions 1, 2, and 3, and you transmute that particle content into 4, 5, and 6. That's the way it normally would work. As a planetary body or human body evolves through frequency accretion, accreting light into your field, the energy capsules within your auric field progressively undergo transmutation of form. The particles contained within the dissolving auric capsules open up into the auric capsules of the next 3 higher dimensions in the next harmonic universe up. The auric field of the planet and those of all humans are undergoing transformation right now until 2012 and beyond. Have any of you noticed this, how time seems to be speeding up? That's what's happening. The particles that make up the Earth's auric field and your own auric field are speeding up. So in order to achieve ascension and avoid being trapped in the D3 time cycle for another 25,000 years, it is essential that one has the proper DNA activation and coding to walk through a Stargate. Everything is about coding. You know, it's something to think about if you're in a relationship. You know, don't be blinded by the physical appearance. Think about the coding, because it's eventually going to come down to that. So here are some of the Stargate locations. The Q site is the activation site for the Stargate. So it's like the Q site exists on the opposite side, usually of the Earth. And if you go through the Earth from that Q site, you come out at the Stargate. So the first one's at the South Pole. Q site is Cypress Island in the Mediterranean. Stargate 2 is Sarasota, Florida. The Q site is Easter Island. Stargate 3 is the Bermuda Islands. And the Q site is in Johannesburg, South Africa. Stargate 4 is at Egypt. And the Q site is right around here where I live. No coincidence. Aguascalientes. So that's a lot of the work that we're doing here, is activating the grids for the Q site, which will then activate the Stargate in Egypt. Stargate 5 is in Machu Picchu. The Q site is at the Vatican. Who will volunteer to go activate that one? Stargate 6 is in Moscow, Russia, and the Q site is the Thar Desert, India. Stargate 7 is Lake Titicaca, Peru. The Q site is Paxos Island, Greece. Stargate 8 is in China, and the Q site is in Tibet. Remember I talked about the conflicts that are going on the planet, or about the Stargates? Just look at the locations of these. Stargate 9 is in Tibet, and the Q site is in South England. Stargate 10 is in Iran. The Q site is in Iraq. Stargate 11 is in Ireland, and the Q site is Island. Actually, Vale of Pewsey is England, and then Ireland is a Q site. Stargate 12 is in South France, and the Q site is in Kauai, Hawaii. So Earth's 12 Q sites connect Earth to the inner Earth's 12 planetary stargates. This is the energetic circulatory system of the Earth. Many of you live near these stargates, right? So it's no coincidence that that's where you live. So as you start activating your DNA and embodying more of your mission, you may be guided to do special grid activations if that is your contract. All right, so what is an Ascended Master? An Ascended Master is someone who's actually ascended before. You know, it's basically someone who can activate 30 to 48 of the DNA strands and access what are called the Kundalini primal sound fields, which exists beyond the 15D time matrix. So when this happens, the being becomes known as a kundere or yoni, and only those beings who have actually ascended out of the time matrix before and have come back are ascended masters. And so when you do that, you have what are called the capstone codes in your DNA template. The codes that we're activating help to activate those codes within you. And not just those codes, but the ability to access even higher realms, the Ah universe. So an ascended master is also known as a Messiah, and Messiah is the distorted term for that, because people have been taught that the Messiah is here to save humanity, and the Messiah is simply your ascended master self, which you have access to and it can embody at any time to be sovereign. And so yes, Jake, there's a lot of information out there which is basically fear-based, and they make it in a way that is very complicated because the mind is attracted to that. And so you think that you have to keep following these people and going to their workshops because you don't know what's going to happen next. And I asked Babaji about that and all of the things that are out there, and he said all of those are prophecies based on fear. There is no truth to that. If you want to keep people under control, all you have to do is start projecting fear, and when you get that limbic system activated in the brain, the person goes into fight and flight, and they can't think clearly. So at any time, if you require any discernment, connect to your higher self and ask what is true and what is not, and you'll always get the right answer. That's why the first thing I teach people is to connect to your higher self and get answers. If I was saying anything that wasn't true, you could connect to me and ask. So what I desire is for people to connect to and embody their higher selves, so we do have a bunch of walking avatars with higher frequency on the planet, and we can have harmonization rather than conflict and inner conflict and shadow selves and wars and people with closed heart chakras. Okay? So DNA activation, no matter how you look at it, is the key to self-mastery, ascension, immortality, healing, embodying your soul's mission, and activating your light body, your Merkaba, so that you can ascend out of this dense time matrix. The Merkaba is the set of counter-rotating fields that go above your head and below your waist. So one of the things we require to do is to activate that, and that's done by activating the DNA. What we desire to do is to have the Merkaba of the Earth spinning at the right speed and in the right direction, because right now the Merkaba of the Earth is running counterclockwise and the wrong direction, and the spin rate is off. So it creates a very dense middle of the Earth and a very dense middle of everyone's physical body, because it's a buildup of particles. So how many of you here know how to connect to your higher self? Many of you have done webinars with me before. Your hands have a neurological hookup to your higher self, and reading energy signatures in your hands tells you what's going on in your auric field. Your left hand is used for reading answers from your higher self. It's the receiving hand. So everyone have your left hand with the palm facing down and the fingers pointing away from you, very relaxed and not touching anything. And just begin to slow down your inner rhythm and breathing. And become aware of what you're feeling in your left hand. It's like you're projecting your consciousness there. And just say out loud, connecting to my higher self. And feel what happens in the fingertips of your left hand. So immediately you feel the stronger tingling in the fingertips. That means you're connected. You're immediately connected just like that with your intention. And you feel the connection in your left hand. So you can tell what's going on in your field by monitoring your left hand. And with practice, you become unconsciously competent at this. Now focus on the next code and keep monitoring your left hand. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers, and in the name of divine love, that the Master's DNA collective activation for ascension code be activated for each person here in their 4 brain centers, 15 chakras, and DNA template, activating their DNA to its highest energetic holding potential now. Ta Asian Tadoi. Keep breathing. Just imagine the code in every one of your cells at the same time. Now imagine the code in everyone's cells on the planet. Now imagine the code in every particle of the earth. Clearing out all discordant memories stored in earth, all past cataclysms, invasions, distortions, thought forms. Clearing out all axial tonal lines, meridians, vortices, chakras, nadis. Now you can feel the energy going quantum. It is commanded in the name of divine love that the angelic human sacred knowledge reawakening code be activated for each person here in the best way possible for them and in line with their higher self now. Ta Asian Tadoi. So imagine this code coming down your crown chakra, down your central vertical channel, activating the encoded information within you, the information that you're here to give to the world, and the information that you require to become more aware of your mission. Imagine the code going out through both sides of each chakra. Excellent. Look how beautiful this code is. So within the intelligent space all around you exists information. This code will help you to access that. It's now activated in you. Now focus on this one. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that the HU15 Sacred Blueprint Indigo Universe Gestation Code be activated for each person here in their 15 chakras, DNA template, soul memory, and every simultaneous incarnation on all levels of their awareness and in line with their higher self. Now, Taishan Tadoy. Focus on the center of the code and notice what happens. Yep, it's expanding, contracting, activating. Now you can feel the energy going quantum in your left hand. This is a huge frequency blast. You can really feel it in your heart chakra too. It is commanded by the laws of the golden liquid realms and alchemical powers that the Indigo Type 1 Higher Awareness Mission Recognition Code is activated for each person here in their 15 chakras, DNA template, and 4 brain centers, activating the awareness of their mission and clearing any blockages that they may have to stepping up and moving forward without any hesitation, procrastination, or fear. Now, Taishan Tadoy. You can feel this one really heavy in your left hand. All right, energy going quantum. Everyone drink some water.